Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today it's Friday. It's SNM, FNM. No, we're not. No SNM here, guys. It's Friday Night Magic, pure clean fun, everyone. And we're going to be doing it today. This time with historic artisan tokens. So, what? So what is the goodie that we got here? Well, basically, I wanted to showcase one interesting goodie from Historic Anthology 5, and that would be Intangible Virtue. Now, this card was actually so good, it was banned in Innistrad block constructed. This was back in the days when we actually still had block constructed, but the idea was that in a format where you can get so many tokens, this is actually quite busted. Now, there are many other possible variations for this, but I decided to go with the simple white-black version. You can easily splash green for cards like Spider Spawning and whatnot, though since we're going for mostly tokens, we don't have that many actual creatures. Like, our only actual creatures are the 4 Eye Twitches and the 3 Clarion Spirits. Clarion Spirit, there to give us even more tokens. Eye Twitch to give us access to our Learn Lesson package alongside Hunt for Specimen. So let's set those aside. So for our Learn Lesson package, pretty much one environmental science, because we pretty much top out at 3 mana for the most part. We have a single 5 mana spell, but this probably can easily be replaced by something else. Everything else is pretty much tops out at 3 mana. We got 2 copies of Pest Summoning. It's highly unlikely we want the third one. 2 copies of Necrotic Fumes, a single copy of Inkling Summoning in case we do need to dodge the ground, and a single copy of Reduced to Memory. This one's primarily for the mono black all enchantments deck. And alongside that, we have 2 copies of this Spark. Perfect for that one because those enchantments happen to have a mana value 4 or greater. And as far as removal's concerned, we have 4 copies of Fatal Push, 2 copies of Fungal Infections additional removal, but otherwise the pretty much main win condition is aside from the Intangible Virtue is Bastion of Remembrance. If we can't win by getting tokens, we can also win by getting our tokens killed. And of course, 4 copies of Plum the Forbidden, a few extra copies of Village Rites because we really need to draw through everything. And that's pretty much it. You're going to cancel saving the deck because I accidentally removed 1 Bastion. You do not want to remove Bastion here, but we do want to be careful with the opening hands you keep. You definitely want a 1-2-3 shot as much as possible. You want to have action right from the get-go. Maybe not necessarily 1-2-3, but you do want to be able to start by turn 2. If you're starting turn 3, that's way too late. So I got a few early wins off this one already. So far, I haven't encountered said mono black enchantments deck, but I've outraced aggro. I've also dealt with another mono black deck of sorts, I think. Oh, that was a blue red. So here we have interesting start. We have a Kabir takedown if we're able to go wide. You have the Clarion Spirit here, but not too sure how that's going to hit. But we do have our Bastion of Remembrance. So, depending on what we draw next, because I might just go Hunt for Specimens turn 2 at this point. Basically, if you're running Clarion Spirit, you want to be able to ensure you have 4 mana. So, opponent seems to be going mono white artifacts. So, that might be a problem for us. Because our opponent can easily put an all the glitters up there. We do need the mana though. So I'm probably gonna just set up for the mana here. We take the early hits. Opponent can just suit up all that glitters here, I suppose. No, goes for the Sentinel's Eyes, so we'll take the hit. If we get access to another, yeah, if we had more mana from the get-go, I probably would have gone for Necrotic Fumes. Opponent goes Solid Footing, so it's definitely all enchantments here. So we're gonna take early hits for now. But I think that is an easy block. Oh, never mind. Hit a Fatal Push. So get the Swamp. The deck's mostly swamps. Hit the Ginger Brute. because Fatal Push is always not here. We could have waited for our opponent to stack more enchantments, but opponent has another Ginger Boot. Yeah, basically we want to force them to kind of start restarting. And we can... Opponent has a solid footing again, so so we probably don't want to swing immediately. We do have double Intangible Virtue, but I'm gonna give up on the spell here. We're just gonna play Bastion of Remembrance here. The next turn we can set up Clarion Spirit, Intangible Virtue. Force our opponent to start spending mana here. So I am willing to give up a blocker here because I know I'm going to get more blockers in time. It does make our Plum the Forbidden slightly worse. And send an Envoy. We hit the Evolving Wealth is primarily here for Fatal Push, though in this particular matchup probably might not need it. So we're definitely not going to swing into a 3/3 Ginger Brute here. But then again, since everything our opponent has is kind of cheap, I'm willing to just crack the Evolving Wilds. We'll take the hit for now. Probably want to start getting more black mana, I guess. So yeah, we can afford to take the hit. So, did not want that extra mana. We'll play the Intangible Virtue. I am willing to swing with these two. I can even Plum the Forbidden for 0 if I have to. If our opponent goes for a kill spell on that token, we're going to just Plum the Forbidden, get extra value. Beat of Resistance. Okay. Nice. Let's let our opponent know. Yeah, that's a big oops. Opponent can still block though, but never mind. Opponent shame concedes there, but yeah, be very careful with protection. Not your auras are not friendly to that. Actually, also kind of very interesting, that one. I think in that deck you probably, yeah, I'll say Gibbs has the same problem. You probably just want Selfless Savior at that point. You really want to be careful with protection. You might be shooting yourself in the foot that way. So we kind of wish we could get even more removal. Like there is some incentive to add even more, and Kabir Takedown I kind of added there because it gives us extra land options. So definitely keeping this. Now there is a setup where I just play the swamp on turn 2. Because what we can do is raise the alarm end of turn, Intangible Virtue follow up. The Clarion Spirit kind of gets held back. Alright. So opponent has Pest speed and even more. And the interesting thing is they're gonna be bigger. So let's run the Intangible Virtue. The next turn we just run Bastion of Remembrance. Opponent probably wants to do their own Bastion of Remembrance as well. They might also just go for the Pests, but yeah, going wide too early. Okay, opponent goes Dina Soul Steeper, so that is enough power to enough power to block. So we need to be careful. Yeah, don't point attacking. Alternate plan. Let's wait for our opponent to block because I want to incentivize them to actually sack the token. Okay. So they're doing the regular double block. So let's snipe Dina. Make us ourselves another token. Opponent can sack in response, but doesn't really do. It dings us for one, so that's fine. Then next turn, if our opponent has, it's unlikely our opponent's going to have a 4-mana plan at this point. If they do, the spark's perfect. Oh, they did. Okay. Now we kind of need one more mana at this point to hit Bastion as well, but we'll see. We might hit something else. Oh, we did hit something else. So the spark. Will be a takedown. Make another token. Oh, we're just clearing the board. Our opponent could have a board wipe, so I really need to get the Bastion down soon. Never mind, opponent conceded. Yeah, I considered the green-black version a bit, like add Saprolings, add Poison Tip Archer, but a lot of the good stuff sinks a lot of mana. Like even Slimefoot the Stowaway, a bit too specific there. I also considered like adding the white-black cards like the Vampire, the Zombie, so that whenever a token ETBs, but we have Bastion of Remembrance. That one does the job a lot better and it's more resilient, so I'm pretty much liking this version already. Actually, I'm really liking this version. Did make a few changes here and there over time, like definitely need to be careful about flooding. Like I added so many DFCs just to have other options. Like the Kabir takedown was always a good option. I might even swap out like the McKinley Stampede for another one. So this one we have a very good shot into turn 1 Eye Twitch, turn 2 Hunt. We're definitely getting the Spectral Sailor, so this could be that version of the deck. Let's see if our opponent taps out. I could also just let Eye Twitch die. So we'll offer the trade first. And since our opponent has Fairy Vandal, we'll let that land. And we'll actually let the Eye Twitch die so that we can get our shooter. So that gives us one Environmental Science, which we will cast immediately. So our opponent's playing Flash Flyers, or it could just be straight Flyers. Staggering Insight. So opponent will grow this, but we will have the Fatal Push for that. They definitely don't have mana type here. So Fatal Push for Fairy Vandal. Then Hunt for Specimen. Time to start getting our Pests. There is an actually, I'm gonna get an Inkling Summoning first. Reasonings that we want to dissuade our opponent. Draw a card. That's fine. Okay, we're hitting mana, so that's the good news. So I'm gonna swing because there's no reason for us to hold these guys back. It's not like they're gonna block ever. Actually, it's a good argument to play Bastion now because our opponent's shield's down. And we can hold up the village rights. Opponent has another Staggering Insight, so... But, yeah, the life link is so good here. Okay, draw a card. turn, we will sack the... We kind of want to hit one more mana. Okay, Stampede is actually kind of good. Oh, so is the Fatal Push, actually. So, let's see. Inkling Summoning is there to block out the Cloud Conceer. And of course, want to target... No, we don't want to target that with Fatal Push because that's not enough. We need to trade first. So we're actually going to swing. So we might have to trade the Inkling first before we hit Fatal Push. But our opponent probably has counters by then. So we're not letting them draw an additional card. They played out the Fairy Miscreant, so let's hope they don't have a God's Will, I guess. Yep, took out their bigger threats. So we do need. Okay, we have a D-Spark, but it's not gonna hit any of these guys. Stampede is fine, but let's see, we're taking 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 damage. So we gotta take the Necrotic Fumes. Let's shrink those guys a bit. Might as well play the land down. This is probably not our best matchup. Here opponent's refilling up quite a bit. We had to survive back-to-back staggering insights, so we are playing from a deficit. We kind of need to plumb the Forbidden at this point. Now I kind of wish I did not play the Stampede. Yeah, we need to hit the Plumb the Forbidden, but even then, it's not the profit, it's just net equal in terms of life. So we're gonna get beat down badly in the air. I think it would have been fine here, I suppose. So raise the alarm. Let's see if our opponent has the Lofty Denial. We need them. Oh, they don't have. Well, they don't really care. Okay, there's a blocker. Opponent can start drawing cards off Spectral Sailor, actually. Yeah, we need to hit the Plumb the Forbidden. Opponent hits another Spectral Sailor. Starts drawing cards. The iTwitch has to trade with Loyal Pegasus. But what do we get out of the sideboard? Rally of Wings. So yeah, that's good. So we got fairly beaten down. That's a fair one. It is an argument for more removal. The Fungal Infections would have been very great at first. Yeah, that was a very good rally. In fact, we probably could have held on to the McKinley Stampede. There was no reason for us to play that as a land. But I don't think it would have helped us at that point. Those were staggering insights, not curious obsessions. So we were catching up from a deficit. It does prove that the Inkling Summoning is worth a shot there. Kind of wish there's a way. There is a card that gives tokens flying, I think, but that's in white blue. I don't think I want to go. I don't really want to go Esper in this kind of deck. So we definitely want to keep this. We'll go for the iTwitch. Turn 2's Evolving Wilds. We don't need to. We don't need the Intangible Virtue right away. We don't actually have any tokens yet. Gifted Aetherborn. So I probably want to play this out. Not gonna swing with this one because we're going to do block plum. It denies our opponent life gain, and well, our opponent might have removal for this though. But the thing is, we need to start hitting our tokens. So we get the free learn as well. So what we can land, okay, don't need that. We definitely want Pest Sum. Necrotic Fumes is an argument, but we have no creatures, so we have to get Pest Summoning. And Fatal Push is nice. So we need to see if our opponent plays a tree drop. If they do, let's not sacrifice Evolving Wilds yet. Okay, they did not, so now let's sacrifice Evolving Wilds. Let's tin the deck a little bit. Fungal Infection's nice too, so that slightly changes our play. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to just play this, Fatal Push the Aetherborn, get that out there. We'll just play Intangible Virtue first. Then what we can do is Intangible Virtue again, then play Pest Summoning. So there are board wipes in black, but those max out at -2/-2. So if we can buff them, if we can buff these guys a bit, it buys us some time. And then just lets it go. Opponent probably is playing the enchantments deck, so we need to be careful of that. They'll got an inheritance. Okay, so they are playing the enchantments deck. So Tangible Virtue. I'm gonna play the Pest Summoning now because it is a bit sorcery speed. We're gonna have to kind of race a bit. The good thing is our tokens are relatively big. The bad news is our opponent might have a larger board wipe than I've imagined. Discards 2 cards, so discard these 2. There's an argument for keeping this, but I do need to draw cards eventually. Yeah. Let's discard these 2. Yeah, the Dispark helps. I'm gonna hold on to this for a moment because this one is very slow for the most part. Then it's Chupacabra. Let that resolve. Let him target. Plum for 1. Which one did he target? Which one was targeted by this? So we sack this one. Yeah. So we'll get a few extra cards off the value. I would love to hit Bastion Assist soon. Evolving Wilds, it's not so great. Raised Alarm, that's good. Okay, so let's hit the Raised Alarm. Hey, we might be doing it. I'm really tempted to snipe this, but there's no real rush. In fact, here, activate, sack. Let's take out that Chupacabra. Swamp. Yeah, opponents, the mono black versions tend to be reliant on removal and lots of creature removal. So we just have to. So the nice thing about our tokens is that each card's like a 2/1. Moment of Craving to gain some life. Yeah, that's where the double Intangible Virtue helps. So we take our opponent down to 10. I'm kind of saving this because this one's a 4/5. We may have to. I'm waiting for our opponent to do. And if our opponent responds with like another discard spell, I can just respond with this. Force our opponent to trigger in advance. More likely than not, our opponent just plays the Reaper. Just read the Spark. And oh, Finally got some use. We finally got some use out of that Makindi Stampede. Probably still gonna cut it. Actually, there's an argument for cutting the Predation instead, but no, I think the mix is fine. Maybe if we need more removal, there's an argument like say cut the Predation or cut the Stampede, add more removal that way. We can probably add more Village Rites. That's also a good one. Even a balanced mix, let's say 3 and 3 is okay also. So far, we're doing reasonably well. Well, we did have that one loss against White Blue, but that one's a bit of our Waterloo. We did hit 2 fatal pushes, but we could have used more removal. Our Disparks were also kind of dodged out there. So this feels really bad. We do hit the turn 3 Bastion, but might as well. I'm gonna test this out, if only to see what a bad heat is. So Fatal Push not so great against Grim Initiates. Tin Street Dodger. So this is a Cavalcade deck. So we're gonna take 2 here. We're probably gonna snipe the. We're probably gonna snipe the Scorched Spitter as soon as our opponent plays Cavalcade. They might also play the Cavalcade later. Okay, let's not wait. Opponent could have an Infuriate, which would be infuriating. Like more often than not, it's just this. So there's also an argument for just playing the Bastion right away. Okay, change of plans. Because our opponent's about to. Whenever an opponent's dealt non-combat damage, so this is signaling for an imminent Cavalcade of Calamity. So unfortunately, I have to fatal push this guy. No point fatal pushing the Grim Initiate. So at least this way, we still have a blocker. Unfortunately, well, not too bad. Next turn we can cast back. Opponent goes for the Frostbite, takes out the. Okay. So if opponent's not gonna deal non-combat, we're gonna just take. Opponent goes Scorch Spitter, so that the combo's up again. We have a Dispark, but it's kind of dodges this. So I'm going to play the Bastion this time. But at least we can block the Spitfire, then. Oh, opponent's not swinging with the Scorch Spitter. So. Pass the blocks. Actually, no, because let's say our opponent hits us. Actually, no, let's just block it for now. Then. Sack. But we need to draw cards anyway. There's a Kabira takedown, but we're short on creatures. So this is where the plan fails. Also drawing way too much land. Another Spitfire. We're probably gonna lose this one. So we can use the takedown to take out the Scorch Spitter. Then we're going to hold on the Evolving Wilds so we can Fatal Push one of the Spitfires. We won't be able to Fatal Push both though. So pass the blocks. No blocks. Opponent not exactly playing much of anything else. So thin the deck a bit. Fatal Push, Spitfire. How many Fatal Pushes did we fire off? That's 3 Fatal Pushes, not good. Drawing lands, also not good. So I might as well attack since I have no intention to block, but we're probably gonna lose this one. Spitfire conveniently being 3 mana means it's hard for our Fatal Push, and it dodges the Spark. We're flooding. We're flooding. We're going to have to hold back the token this time. We need to block the Grim Initiate. we could lose at any point actually. So there's Chandra's Pyreling. I'm gonna block now because actually no, because we might still draw. We have one more village, right, and we still have a plum to forbidden, so those are still options. Yeah, this part. Okay, we hit a fungal infection, so that's something. So now it means blocking the token is not such a bad idea after all. We still have to get over the flood though. I also considered like a black-red build and among other things, but really hard to say what's good here. I could see an argument for okay. So block. If we die, we die. I'm still waiting for the non-combat damage to come in. Heartfire. Yeah, that's good game. Yeah, we just got flooded out really badly, and the spark happened to miss here. There are matchups where we definitely need the Spark. I can see an argument for, say, Bloodchief's Thirst, which probably makes sense. I might say cut a Makindi Stampede for Bloodchief's Thirst. So, something for you guys to think about when you build this deck. Like I don't like the idea of people just copying a deck list verbatim, like just copying it as is and see which deck. No, I want people to think, okay, what parts of the deck work, what parts of the deck don't work. Now I will admit I kind of underprepared for mono red, so a bit slow, but we do have an Eye Twitch. I might even just play Eye Twitch turn 1. That depends what our opponent's playing. If I see removal colors, okay, that's still kind of removal colors. We also hit an Evolving Wealth, but I'm gonna play the Eye Twitch first. Turn 2 Sinkhole, hold up Village Rights. If our opponent doesn't kill this, nope, Orator, so it's life gain. So change of plans. Can we outrace the life gain? No, let's snipe this. Turn 3, we can choose to play Intent as another Orator. So we did hit the Clarion Spirit, so that's something to consider. I'm probably gonna play it out just to have something to. Something to block, I guess. Opponent's really into the life gain, so we need to be on the lookout for Feed the Swarm on Clarion Spirit. Well, let's sack this first. Let's see. Let's get white. So no flying tokens today, but okay, the Spark might be relevant. So we'll play Bastion first. Opponent just used up their one Feed the Swarm, so we'll see if it gets them to go for another one. No, they're going just for a life gain chain. So we'll take the hit for now because we know we have an Intangible Virtue, multiple Intangible Virtues, in fact. So I probably want to hold back the Eye Twitch because we definitely want to hit Environmental Sciences now. So we'll play Bastion. Dissuade them from attacking for a bit. For Celebrant. Okay, that also dodges the Spark, so maybe the Spark not so great. So opponent's gonna try to ding us this way. Yeah, it also doesn't help that it's dodging stuff. We can So I am going to just village rights the eye twitch. So actually no, cancel first. Let's swing first. Let's get some extra value off that. So we get some triggers, we get some like that. So what do we need to hit? Probably want to get the environmental sciences to get things going, but we are kind of wish there was another 2 mana spell. I'm probably gonna go for Pest Summoning as it is. Oh yeah, we drew cards. So Plains, Intangible Virtue, Pest Summoning. So that's another plan. Opponent goes Omen, so that dings us for 4. No, I think 5. 5 because the Omen also gains life. Sacrifice, draw a card. Okay, we might. So we need to start. We need to start swinging. Okay, there's another eye twitch. So Intangible Virtue. Opponent's just gonna take it. So yeah, there's a chance that we might die before anything happens. So okay, let's play the Pest Summoning now. Kinda wish we have the Plumb the Forbidden. Opponent hits a Soul Warden, so only 2 triggers. So down to 6. Yeah, it's getting close. Hunt for specimens. We probably need to get environmental sciences just to gain life. But we also need to encourage our opponent to start attacking. There's a Kabira takedown, which we probably want to snipe before Celebrant, because that's the biggest one. So I'm gonna swing first, so it informs our decision. So it will inform our decision on what to hunt for. If our opponent has another Omen of the Sun, at least we don't lose that much life. But we're still gonna lose quite a bit. So we're probably gonna go for Necrotic Fumes at this point. Oh yeah, we also trigger when you play that. So do I want to play the Eye Twitch? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One creature slips true. Everything else trades. End turn. Yeah, because I was concerned our opponent might have another like instant speed way of dropping cards, but could still be a problem. But basically the plan now is to snipe the Impassioned Orator. Well, that'll leave our opponent with a Soul Warden. Ooh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Okay, down to 1. Yeah, because I think we're dead if our opponent swings with everything. I'm hoping our opponent doesn't see. Okay, opponent didn't see it. So, first things first. Also, Necrotic Fume's not good because it exiles. Now, here's the thing. This is 3, 6, 9, 12. So, our opponent is kind of forced to block. But it might be a case of like our tokens might be too good. Yeah, they just need one more creature on your side. The other thing is we can't even play a creature at this point. No. This is only a creature under your control. So probably the best bet is to target the Soul Warden so it unlocks our stuff. If they hit a creature, we're dead anyway. If we... Yeah, they have the creature. Yeah, good. So that was a very good strategy. Did we hit any... We hit one Fatal Push. We needed more removal there. An argument could be made that we should have started swinging earlier and trading off. So there is that. I still like the turn 1 eye twitch though. It also supports the Clarion Spirit. But there's definitely an argument for having more than just 4 fatal push. The D-Spark's also kind of questionable now. I'm already considering Mortif. Well, Heartless Act is always going to be good, but I might consider Mortify in this case because there are enchantments I want to hit, and it costs 1 more mana, but it's kind of what works. So this is not really keepable. We're gonna mulligan this. Okay, this is more keepable. We have... I'm probably gonna just play this one out. So because we're playing this for early game, I'm going to just fatal push the Selfless Savior because that's always annoying. So turn 2 Clarion Spirit, hold up the Plumb, I guess. Opponent's also in light game. I'm gonna just play the Clarion Spirit now. Let's see if it forces our opponent to play removal instead of another creature. Most likely than not, it just makes them play another creature. Angel of Vitality, so again, life gain. So there's an incentive for us to... The eye twitch is a good incentive there, I suppose. If only to give us something to block the angel. So basically it gives us environmental sciences into... Our opponent might not even attack because oh, they do attack. Okay, fine. So we go for environmental sciences because we need the mana. We hit the Kabira takedown, so that actually helps. That does not help us right now, but it will help us in the future. But I should have gotten white mana. So from the Forbidden, sack 0. Makes it look like we're slightly desperate. So yeah, we hit the wrong mana. We were supposed to get white there. We needed like raise the alarm. But right now what we can do is we can just kind of keep chumping Angel for the moment. Okay, so Predation doesn't really help us. We need to play the takedown soon. It's just a matter of when. Actually, we can choose. I'm gonna actually just play Bastion of Remembrance. We're going to take 4 in the air. So the plan is not to let the token die because we need to have these tokens. So we'll take the hit. If our opponent has another angel, that might be a concern, but at least we can deal with it one at a time. So raise the alarm. And Kabira takedown. So gains a ton of life, but no reasonable response. I'm going to hold on to the Pelaka Predation because it gives us hunt for specimens into something. Opponent seems to be flooding. Let's see if they have a pump effect. No, they're just giving it up. That makes absolutely no sense. Oh, they have an... Okay, that makes... Okay, makes a little sense. So... Since we hit that... So we're gonna cast this knowing that we're not gonna hit anything. Yeah, it's a plains. Okay, that's good. Then just hunt for specimens. I guess we go for necrotic fumes. So swing in the air. Opponent has another Soul Warden, so tons of life gain. But their payoff is gone. Yeah, the white-black version a while ago, that one is a lot better. So take 2. Intangible Virtue. So we're gonna swing first. Maybe we can even get both Soul Wardens to trade with the token. No trade. So we'll exchange the token on the ground with the token in the air. Yeah, gain some life. But now the Intangible Virtue is gonna kind of make up for it. Also, the nice thing is that healer's off. Sure. Yeah, you really need the black half. That's what makes it better. Also, yeah, the vigilance is really what makes these tokens killer. So Angel of Vitality is still big. So the Ajani's Pride Mate is gonna grow quite a bit. So it's a 4. We need to hit one of our fatal pushes, but we can just keep swinging in the air for the time being. Okay, the Dispark. I'm probably gonna cut the Dispark at this point. It was fine. But more often than not, people are playing the cheaper decks, so those are gonna tend to miss. Yeah, Angel of Vitality. So yeah, no. Okay, that makes it a 4/4. Yeah, it really dodges all this. The Raise of the Alarm makes it worse. So I might just pass. So if our opponent swings to the Pride, Selfless Savior. Okay, that doesn't help us that much. So our opponent's going to be gaining quite a lot of life at this point. Also note that, so we need to encourage our opponent to trade off that Selfless Savior, or find a way to kill it. So let our opponent gain even more life. Ooh. So that's a very big boy. Let's trade this. Also, if we hit the Fatal Push, it has to hit the Selfless Savior first, so that's a bit annoying. Yeah, so life gains a bit of our Waterloo. Now we're flooding. Opponent also flooded quite a bit as well. I could swing with these guys on the ground, but our opponent has so much life that it doesn't really matter. We kind of need them more for blocks. I can't just throw these tokens away now that we're staring down a large Pride Mate. How many? We still have 3 more Fatal Pushes. Intangible Virtue is fine though. So what I can do is I can swing with these just to force our, maybe encourage our opponent to give up Angel of Vitality. Okay, takes it down. Takes it down a peg. Opponent has Blast Casket or Clarion Spirit. Okay, well, we weren't exactly casting firing spells off back to back anyway. Bound in Gold. So that one's not blocking. Yeah, this spark is very peculiar for a matchup. I might end up just swapping this with Feed the Swarm at this point. No, Mortify. We're gonna slow down one of these Soul Wardens. Also gives us something on the ground to block with. Yeah, because the size of the Pridemate doesn't really matter at this point. So our opponent can choose to block with the Angel and sack Selfless Savior. He finally gets rid of it. Soul Mender. Ooh, wow. Sets it at 24 though, so it... Yeah, doesn't want to... I don't think you want... Yeah, you don't want to... You don't want to attack with Soul Warden either. So we really need to hit the... We hit the Clarion Spirit, so that's something. I do have to swing first though. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose this one, so that's a bit of a shame. So our opponent can tap to gain some more life. Hallowed Priest, yeah. Very cautious. Now they could activate the Soul Menders if you get them up to 25. Well, now it gets them down to 24, so gets them up to 24, so it will save the Angel of Vitality. Plum would be nice because it allows us to... High Twitch is fine too. So we're going to swing first. So now the issue is we have to also start worrying about the Hallowed Priest. The flip side is that okay, opponent gains a bit of life. If our Bounding Pool. Yeah, we need to hit the plumb at this point, so we're forced to block this. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that the spark misses and we hit the land. So that's good game. We're probably gonna make that one small adjustment, but yeah, for the most part, probably, yeah, it looks like not many people are playing the heavier decks. I can see, I think Feed the Swarm is a good plan here. Fungal Infection is actually kind of fine there. Oh wait, there is another option, but no, I need an anti-enchantment option, so I guess it's gonna have to be Mortify. So, as much as I like these, we're going to have to get something that it's not too conditional. So with that in mind, the Predation Stampede was fine that one time, but maybe we could do without it. Killian would be interesting. Actually, Humiliate is also interesting as an option because it's a way to take out problem cards. Call to the Feast, make tokens. Hidden Stockpile is also another way to make tokens, but it's actually not a bad idea. Destroy target creature, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Now, Fracture might be an option too, but we do need an anti-creature option actually, so yeah, I guess we'll do this as a quick sub. So, probably also change the art. Let's change the art out a bit. Let's see if this pans out better. Wait. I guess we can also just cut the Predation for... Yeah, because the Predation tends to miss. I probably would prefer another Takedown. Or maybe just another Village Rites at this point. So we'll go with those slight changes. If those pan out, I'm going to add that to the I'll add that to the final deck. Actually, let's make those changes now. So it's basically -2 Dispark, +2 Mortify. +1 Village Rights, -1 Pelaka Predation. Maybe I should have kept that first one, but fine. It is what it is. So we'll bin the Mortify. The opponent gets to go first too, so it's a bit of a problem for us, leading on white. Okay, they're also tokens. So I might want to hold on the fungal infection for a while. Oh, white-black. Orzhov Enforcer. So actually, fungal infection would be very good against that. So let's keep that in mind. Our opponent is definitely a token step. It'll take us a while to hit the Bastion of Remembrance, but we should get Hunt for Specimens next turn. So we're gonna go fungal infection. Our opponent might have a way to kill the token. Or not. Yeah, fungal infection gets them every time. Now they still get a flying token, so that might be an issue. Orzhov Enforcer again. Let's go Blacklist again. If we hit, that's because if we hit any other mana, I can do Hunt Eye Twitch. Since we did not, I can just do Hunt. Set up the Environmental Sciences for next turn. So Environmental Sciences, Kabira Takedown is a possibility. Our opponent's waiting to do the Bastion, I guess. Yep, there's the Bastion. So it's gonna be a Bastion fight here. I can safely take this one out now. And the Mortify is a good match for the Bastion, so there's that. But we are way behind because of all these ETB tap mana. I might just play my own Bastion just to match up with that. Then we'll worry about the Flyers later. So next turn against Flyers, we probably just... yeah, our opponent seems to be hitting a lot of mana here. We'll Celebrate. Yeah, that's the alternate plan. Into a Whisper Squad. This... No, they get more off out of this one than we do. The double Eye Twitch helps though. So now we know we will be refilling because of the double Eye Twitch. We'll still be taking quite a bit of damage on the ground. The Whisper Squad's also a problem, but eventually we'll get to the point where we can kind of pest. I'm hoping it's, yeah, I was hoping it's not a pump effect. Pump effect would have been really brutal here. That's why we have one. So Pest Summoning. into Pest summoning. Horizontal Enforcer. We don't have to mortify quite yet. I'm gonna save the Clarion Spirit for next turn. So we're gonna get ourselves another black swamp. Put that sleeve a bit. Pest summoning. The next turn we will have multiple options. Most likely I will just trade So next turn is Clarion Spirit, Mortify, take out the Bastion once and for all. Depends what this last card is. Oh, it's land. Okay. Into an Eye Twitch, so we have that set up. So we're gonna just mortify their enchantment, put it out of the way. They have a Silver Quill Campus, which is... I guess I could have used that when I was getting flooded. Opponent keeps it on top, so I'm assuming it's either another Bastion, more creatures, or probably just more removal. Corpse Knight, so... very different strategy. Search, makes sense. So we get Think for 1 this way. And it's under their control, so I don't have to worry about our creatures triggering that. Opponent need skip their combat. So Eye Twitch. Pest summoning because we need the life gain. I'm gonna actually start swinging in the air to put even just a little bit of pressure on our opponent. But basically our opponent's kind of locked down at this point. All their whispers, they're out of whisper squads now. They really want another Bastion. They got Hunted Witness, so that brings us for 1. I'm probably gonna start swinging with these just to get back and stuff. Opponent actually takes it, which is also a reasonable part of it. So let's just end the turn. Opponent's gonna just continue scrying there. So that I do like the changes. If that was this spark, it was never going to Bastion. We've probably been dead sooner. They did finally hit the Bastion. So life is not going to be a net positive. The good news is our life gain goes first. So I want to see if they actually attack. I hope they do. So we're going to cast Raise the Alarm. So how do we block here? I kind of want to keep the Clarion Spirit up. Because we're going to take 1, 2, 3. We go up 2, down 2. We go back to 2. Or we just take this out. So yeah, go back. So Eye Twitch gets us. We'll probably have to get another Necrotic Fumes. We used up all our Pest summonings here at this point. Also an argument to keep holding up a land because we're going to have more learn than lesson at this point. Oh, reduce the memories another way. It gets them another permanent though, which might be a problem. Might not have a choice. Go down to 2. And now that's actually good for us. So Clarion Spirit. Forced to play the planes. Reduce to memory. Get 2 more tokens. So need to check blockers on ground. I think we're fine. I'm even willing to give up a Clarion Spirit. Opponent gets another Hunted Witness. So yeah, they're just dropping all the small stuff. You hit another Raise the Alarm. So 1, 2, 3. So we have another trap, I suppose. We're eventually gonna hit Intangible Virtue, but definitely I'm gonna swing with just a limited amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in case. Also need, yeah, we almost died back there when we swung with these. We needed the extra hits. Also, if our opponent doesn't swing, I might actually hold back the Raise the Alarm in the event we draw another spell. Now, like, we are running 2 Clarion Spirits after all. Soul Guide Lantern. Doesn't really matter, we have no way of getting cards back. They might use it to draw a card. Yeah, I really want to hit Intangible Virtue at this point. It'll help close the game. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hold this back. The only one spell that's probably too big is some Fatal Push is fine. So we're gonna Fatal Push the 3-2. And it's each turn, so I could have done all this in our opponent's turn. I didn't have to do this now. I could have waited for our opponent to drop something big and go off with that. Opponent in the tank. You probably want to draw a card at this point. You probably don't want to. You probably don't want to exile the graveyard. It's hard to say, but the only deck that wants a graveyard at... No, there are several decks that do want graveyards. In fact, Unburial Rites is an uncommon, so that is also another plan. Actually, our opponents might have disconnected. This looks like a huge tank. So we get our opponent down to 5. We go back to 6. We can throw almost all our creatures. We can throw all our creatures under the bus at this point. Yeah, we're actually gonna get more tokens. I think our opponent gave up. Yeah, they're just running it down. This is a disconnect. Well, at least we learned something about this one. As much as I like these Spark, I like how cheap it is. There are so many targets you're gonna miss here, so let's just stick to Mortify. There is an argument for some of the other cards, like Fracture is probably good. It's a good concept, but I also needed to hit creatures. Primarily, it's creatures and enchantments. Artifacts haven't actually been a problem. Then, yeah, for the most part, everything I've been targeting was either a creature or an enchantment. Okay, there was the Ginger Brute, but that was also a creature. So yeah, Mortify is probably the correct one. Fungal Infection is still fine, but I can see an argument for swapping it for something actually beefier, like say a Heartless Act or even more Mortifies. Let's it go. I'm gonna just cast as many things as possible so that let's that go. So might as well swing with everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure our opponent yeah, they didn't even bother to. Yep, they're not here anymore. So we're just waiting for this. But this is definitely gonna be the last game in our run. we pretty much improved this concept. Now, why did I run this concept instead of the concept our opponent was running? One, because that one has been done before. All the cards are older. Two, you're still essentially playing one creature for one. You're just trying to benefit from the fact that you would still have a board. But number three, you're not taking full advantage of Intangible Virtue. Opponent came back, so opponent probably might have wanted to go. They finally hit a Bastion of Remembrance, so we're back to the races. Hit a fungal infection, so we actually can hold. I'm actually only gonna swing with only 5 because, well, okay, so we're taking. Opponent really is flooding. Opponent's gonna have to attack eventually. So, okay, we did not want to hit that. We're gonna just hit with another 5. But the trick here is for us to survive, we need the. Let's say our opponent goes in combat, we need the pests to trade. And we need to have an equal number of creatures die at the same time as them. Or if not, we have to be able to block everything and have as many of our creatures die, because we already have a board where everything, where we can pretty much survive. Opponent now keeps the up. Oh no, they didn't. I thought they would have kept the upkeep. And they conceded there. Yeah, I probably would have gone for the upkeep because, yeah, I figured their deck was pretty much the most expensive card would be the Bastion. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'd have 3 mana left over. It'll be good to cast whatever card they have. But there you go. So we managed to prove the spirit concept, and we actually managed to make very good use of Learn Lesson as well. So we're gonna call this run as it is. That's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And yeah, I haven't actually refreshed this list. Hold on a second. Let's refresh that. Don't worry. The deck list will be in the new deck list will be in the description. So you'll get the good stuff there. Like we get Mortify instead. This is gonna be the new one. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, by the way, there is a contest coming up. If there is a contest, check the link below. If you're on Facebook, it's a design contest. I want to see how good you guys are. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great weekend, everyone.